you are going to see some transformative impact coming into your life. Movements will start happening in multiple areas of your life as we discuss further. Do not get worked up when somebody gives you a feedback, criticism of any sort, because it is going to work in your favor as long as you take it positively and utilize it to improve yourself to the next level. You must take that opportunity to pursue a particular hobby, go and travel to new locations. Hi guys, welcome back to Devastrology. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the transitory movement of the planets, and we will understand that what does the month of February hold for us in terms of our relationships, finances, career, business prospects, your overall health and prosperity. So before we go to understand that what is going to be the impact of these planets, let's try and quickly look into the important dates which are going to define the movement of these planets into different signs and houses for you. Now, as you guys can see on the screen here, Sun is going to be in the sign of Capricorn until 10th of Feb, and from 11th, 12th of February, it will be moving into the sign of Aquarius. It will be in conjunction with Mercury, which is also sticking in this of Capricorn as of now and will be moving into Aquarius on Jan 11th. However, Mercury will be making additional movement and it will be getting conjunct with Rahu and Venus in the sign of Pisces from 27th of February. Important thing to note is that Venus is already in its sign of exaltation and it has been in the sign of Pisces since Jan 27th, and it is going to be there for a duration of 110 days in this conjunction. It have very key impacts for all of us. Important thing to understand also is that this Venus is actually forming a Parivartan Yoga, an exchange with itself with Jupiter, because Venus sits in Pisces whilst Jupiter is placed in the sign of Taurus. Yes, it has been in retrograde motion, but Jupiter is going to become direct from February 4th. And in this progressive movement, you are going to see some transformative impact coming into your life. Movements will start happening in multiple areas of your life as we discuss further. Now, Mars is also sitting in its retrograde motion and it has entered the sign of Gemini already, as I'd mentioned in my January readings. And you will find that Mars will also become direct or progressive from February 24th onwards. So both of your retrograde planets, which is Jupiter and Mars, they will become direct and progressive in the month of February itself. So it's an important event that's going to come into play. Saturn continues in the sign of Aquarius in Purv Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is ruled by Jupiter itself. And you have Rahu, which is in the sign of Pisces at this point in time. It is in conjunction with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, ruled by Saturn. And Ketu is in the sign of Virgo. It is in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, which is again ruled by Sun. So these are some of the important dates that are going to come into play for the month of February. So Capricorn, as you guys can see on your screen here, your Lagna Lord is placed in your second house. Sun and Mercury are currently in your first house in your Lagna itself, and in the next 10-12 days, they will be moving into your second house, whilst Mercury will continue its movement and move into the third house where it will become conjunct with Rahu and an exalted Venus. Now, the best part is that this Venus is forming an exchange yoga with your Jupiter, which is placed in your fifth house. And this Parivartan Yoga is coming into play between the third and the fifth lords. You have Mars, which has finally come out of its debilitated state in the retrograde motion in your sixth house, and Ketu continues to be stationed in your ninth house itself. First and foremost, guys, as you would have observed that since Saturn has been here, he has been making you work hard towards matters related to family. Your efforts, your karma would have gone in support of supporting some or the other family causes. Even your profession would have required you to push harder to ensure that your family is going to get the right outcomes or not. No matter what sphere of life you come from, this is the first observation that comes into play. It has found a good Dhan Yoga also in place in terms of making you extremely enterprising and working towards your wealth and gains. But the presence of Sun and Mercury in your first house since the month of January is extremely pleasing to me. Sun happens to be the lord of your eighth house. There has been some level of suddenness in your life in the last few days, but it has also brought a lot of confidence. It has brought a lot of shine to your soul. This is a positive thing because Sun's presence in the Lagna itself is always seen in a positive light. It is in conjunction with Mercury, which is the lord of your ninth house and your sixth house. Means that there definitely could have been some level of struggle, suddenness involved because of your job perspective or because of your health matters as well. But at the same time, you will continue to get the support of your fatherly figure. You are going to especially do well if you are working in close collaboration, discussing ideas with your dad, with your father itself. Your superiors at the workplace, your bosses, your leadership have also put a lot of trust and faith in the capabilities that you bring to the table, Capricorn. Now, the fact of the matter that Sun rules your eighth house and has been in Lagna, and it will continue to move into your second house where it will become conjunct with Saturn. You have to understand that this would have been a period where you would have spent some time in terms of grasping something new. Occult could have been of interest, or you would have been busy in terms of learning new subjects, learning new courses, upskilling yourself in newer areas. Your time could have also been involved in something that might not have given you the right outcomes. It might have felt that everything is futile in the efforts that you're putting in. But as the sun continues its transit from your ascendant to your second house, you will see the fruits of your labor come to fruition. You will find success of those efforts coming to life. However, it will also create a turbulent situation within your family. There could be certain uncomfort, some kind of a health related issue, or general misalignment within your family members in the second half of the month once Sun is in conjunction with Saturn. So, you will have to practice some care and caution during this period. But remember, the reason I say that you will be able to achieve the outcomes of the efforts that you've been putting in, or whatever transformation you've been living through within yourself in this period of time, with Sun's aspect to its own house, you are going to bear the fruits. You are going to get the outcome of the same as well. So, that is a positive outcome that you can anticipate. However, please be careful in terms of your relationship, especially with respect to your communication as to how you are articulating yourself within your family. Mercury's presence is definitely going to be an indicator of that same. Now, when we move towards your third house, we realize that here Venus is getting exalted and in conjunction with the expansive illusionist. Well, this is going to bring in a lot of effort in terms of you putting in no stone unturned to achieve your objectives. Venus happens to be your lord of creativity. If you are involved in running something of your own, if you've been thinking of starting something of your own during this period, this will be an opportune time to accomplish that. Venus also rules your 10th house and it is coming in conjunction with Rahu. I definitely anticipate some sort of expansion in the scope of work you do. This could result into promotions coming your way. It could result into larger job responsibilities or you expanding your profession itself, which means you could expand your own hustle, your own enterprise, your own setup. So you must look positively in that direction. Yes, the going is not going to be easy. Venus is making an 11th movement as well as a 6th movement. This is a tricky bit because the desires are going to be on a rise for you. But at the same time, those desires can only be accomplished if you are ready to put up a fight. And that is what this Venus exalted is going to ask you to do. See, third house is not an easy placement for a benefic planet like a Venus or a Jupiter to be placed there because they usually struggle in such positions. But for your case, it's such a unique situation because Your Venus also becomes your Yoga Karaka planet, and it is getting exalted with Rahu. It can bring in, situations where you want to pursue new romantic relationships as well, and you could be extremely active about it. You may want, or you may have the desires to get in touch with a specific new person. Highly probable this person could be coming from a different background than yourself, from a different culture, country, geographical location, whatnot. Your kids could also see, if you are a parent of one or two, you will see that aspect coming into their life as well, that they could become extremely action oriented, and they could be the source of some sort of gains, good positive news coming in your life. This will be a period in the next couple of months, 2 to 3 months, in fact, where you could be interested in planning some luxurious outing for yourself, some sort of a vacation to treat yourself emotionally and mentally. And that is going to be one of the best decisions that you can make. You must take that opportunity to pursue a particular hobby, go and travel to new locations. Maybe your siblings in itself could be a source of some sort of gains, or you might find that they also see some sort of growth in their life during this period itself. In fact, as Mercury touches the third house in the later part of the month, you will see that your measures, through your own efforts, through your own communication, your own skill in general, is going to result into some sort of gains. You could have some disagreement with your father, with your bosses, in the way you approach your profession, in the way you approach the projects in itself. And when I say bosses here, it means your end clients as well, if you are running a business of your own. There could be some sort of an ego clash, tussle, misalignment. But if you are able to keep your communication in check, if you are able to control your mind as to how you are expressing your thought process, you will sail through positively. Why the heck am I giving such an emphasis on your communication? Well, you have to understand that Mars, which is the lord of your fourth house and your 11th house, has come and positioned in itself in the sixth, and it is sitting in the sign of Gemini in retrograde right now. Thereby, this becomes hypercritical, and communication coming in right from inside you. Mars rules your fourth position, right? It is going 3 places away. So you will have to put in some sort of an effort in terms of finding that mental peace for you. There will be definitive struggle in that direction. And that is the reason I kept alluding to the fact that it may not be a bad idea for you to just de-stress yourself by taking a brief vacation, by going and picking up some new hobby, doing something for your own satisfaction. You must, in a way, indulge yourself for something beautiful for yourself, so that you are able to deliver more at your work front or in your life in general. Now, this movement of Mars also promises that you will be able to overcome the obstacles. Yes, they will come your way. It's, after all, it's a retrograde malefic sitting in your sixth house. But you will have the tendency, you will have the capacity and the rigor to overcome that. You will be able to find that discipline that you've been missing for a while. This is also going to be a period where you can actually derive your goals and objectives, fulfill your desires through your own hard work. The more strict you are with your efforts, the better you will achieve in terms of your outcomes. So please do not drop the ball with respect to that particular opportunity coming in your way. I would refrain you from getting into any argumentative situations at your workplace because of the aspect that Mars is giving to your ninth house. Mars is also aspecting your Lagna. So I hope that gives you that clarity from that perspective. But it gives an aspect to the 12th house, meaning any kind of effort done towards charitable deeds, towards external foes, is going to find you some success. Now you have Jupiter sitting in your fifth house. We've touched upon the exchange that is coming between Jupiter and Venus here. He is the lord of your 12th house and your third house coming into your fifth. Especially if you're a student watching this video, I see a definitive possibility of some good news coming in your way with respect to your selection into any college institution or starting any new course. If you've been looking forward to do some sort of partnership with people in different countries, if you're looking forward to see some movement with respect to your permanent residencies, your movement with respect to immigration related opportunities, that should see a positive uptick, because this Jupiter is also giving an aspect to your 11th house and it is in exchange with Venus. So, positive outcomes related to all those aspects are definitely expected, anticipated. Of course, you need the support of your natal chart as well for all of that to materialize. Now, given that uh, Venus rules your fifth house and it is sitting 11 places away, it also tells me that from your education, you can find some gains, maybe new job opportunity also coming in for students who are looking forward to get into the job force. This Jupiter also rules your third house. Your interest towards being enterprising, towards running something of your own, any new project, even if you are in a job, and your effort in that direction is going to bear the right outcomes. Third Lord is going three places away from itself. Bhavam is coming into play for you. So things will materialize for you in that direction as well, and you must not drop the ball. The best part here is that whilst you have multiple aspects of Rahu, Ketu, Venus, Mars falling into your uh, ninth house, and Mercury also will be giving that aspect. Jupiter is also maintaining that aspect into your ninth house, and he will be the savior who will ensure that you continue to maintain the discipline that is needed. You maintain the principles that you believe in. Your belief system will be stable, and that is the most important things. There will be situations where you will challenge yourself that, am I moving in the right direction? Am I doing the right thing in allocating so much time, effort, energy, money into the initiatives that I'm taking, whether it be my education, whether it be my new project, whether it be my job role. But this Jupiter is going to keep you honest from that perspective, and that's a very positive sign. Last but not the least, Ketu advises you to focus towards what is needed. Do not get worked up when somebody gives you a feedback, criticism of any sort, because it is going to work in your favor as long as you take it positively and utilize it to improve yourself to the next level. If in case you get hung up with that feedback, it might be detrimental and not work in a positive for you. So ignore any argumentative situations. I'm going to repeat again, and see what the other party has to reflect upon you and see if you can improve on that. Well, I hope this gives you enough clarity as to how February is going to be turning out for you. If you have enjoyed this reading, guys, please smash on that like button, subscribe to Devastrology, and keep watching. Om Namah Shivaya.